We're live now.
I hate the internet sometimes.
I hate the internet.
Live.
I hate the internet sometimes too. Why? What happened? Just
Just
comments and shit.
sarky comments. Sarky comments.
Doesn't it
Yeah.
kind of just feel like I hate the internet? I guess doesn't it kind of just feel like you can never win?
You never win. You
You
never
can
win.
never, you can never win. Like no matter what you can do like the best shit in the world,
You
and
can be
there's always somebody just to fucking run their mouth.
you can give back so much. You can take your time. You can be a passionate, compassionate person, and you
Doesn't
still
matter.
get someone tries to sting you. And
Matter.
without going too deep, it's like people. The bottom line is people make comments that make no sense. No sense. This
Okay,
might
but
be the
here,
subject of
okay,
the
but now that you're saying all this, I need first of all, hi Ben, how are you?
Come on, good.
Stefan,
Hello, hello.
Stefan.
I
Stefan, how are
just
you,
need to
brother?
change the camera to the right one. Yeah.
There we go. He's got multiple cameras.
Yeah,
Two.
all the screens have cameras.
Oh,
Um,
Hello.
how are you guys?
Better.
good.
Um,
I started waffling.
James opened the podcast with a gripe about the internet and how much he hates it sometimes. And I'm in the same boat.
Yeah,
So
I think we all are.
I want to
We are
know I
we
want to
we
know
we
what
are we are
happened.
we are we are adults. I think that's the reason.
But I want to know what specifically happened.
Specifically for me, there's one. I'll give highlight to one troll who I've let stay on my channel, which is you know what? I'm big on that. I don't need to block this person.
Yeah.
And the comment I got was actually not from him. The comment was along the lines of because I did a video explaining where I'm at in a minute, and now their comment was you're either too big and not conditioned enough, or you're too small and in condition. So why don't you try doing something else? Maybe stick to Comic Con, do all that kind of thing. And I'm like, you've just said the fucking answer there. So I've got something to gear towards because you've just said that I need to be bigger with better conditions. So that for me is an aim. And then I'm also like, if I listen to the amount of people that told me to fucking stop or do something else, it started way back in my teens. I would have got fucking nowhere. I would have got fucking nowhere. Like
You know,
my own gym owner, Fouad,
yeah.
gave up on me when one year I did the British and I didn't place. He said, maybe you should do something else. The next year, I came back and I fucking came fifth. And then the following year, I won the overall. And I was like, stick that up your fucking arsehole.
All right, listen, you're
Jesus.
you're preaching to the choir. This is the thing I think a lot of bodybuilding fans don't understand. Or I shouldn't even say it that way. I just think people like everybody has a competitive spirit, right? Everybody wants to win.
No, they don't have.
There's, but there's
People who comment don't have.
no,
They
no,
are
no.
just
Exactly.
like,
They're the ones that don't have
I
it.
shouldn't say they don't have a competitive spirit. Everybody wants to win, not necessarily everybody has the heart to try and get there. Okay.
They want to win, but they don't. They want it easy. Some
I'm
people
just
want it
saying,
easy, right?
just hear me out for a second. So people love a winner and people think everybody should be winning. So like I've come across people in my life who are like, well, if you're not in the top 3 at the Olympia, why even competing? Why even bother? And I'm like, do you understand what you just fucking said? That's like if I owned a restaurant and it wasn't the 3rd best restaurant in the world, I should just close it down.
Fuck
yeah.
me. That is exactly
That's
how
that
it
what
feels.
that what I always tell them. They tell me, I get very often the question, how much potential do I have? Can I win the Olympia? Can I get a pro card? And then I ask, what job do you have? And he
Right.
says, I'm auto mechanic. And I ask, why don't you own BMW?
Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yeah.
Do you stop being an auto mechanic? So,
Can I so
ugh,
I just want to kind of explain something that I think I realized in my career when people ask me when I look back, like people ask me like, is there anything you regret about your career or is anything you would have done differently? And I'm like, I can probably point out to a bunch of little things I would have done differently. But if you said to me, was your career a success? Well, when I
what the
said it,
hell? Yes.
but this is the thing, there's a lot of people that would say no because I didn't place well at the Olympia or I didn't do this or do that. But this is the point. When I started bodybuilding, the reason I started bodybuilding was I just wanted to train and I didn't want to do anything else. And I wanted someone to pay me to work out. I was
And you
like,
got that.
if somebody pays me to work out, then I can just work out for a living. That's going to be
Yeah, exactly.
so when you look at it in terms of that context, then it's more than a success because I made an entire living just doing what I love.
Exactly,
So
man.
like, it's not always just about winning the fucking Olympia or winning the. Sometimes you just like, I love fucking training. I love bodybuilding. I love competing, and I'm going to do it because this is my life.
The
I-
measure that people place upon the measure that people that don't understand place on it is just so naive and like it's just retarded. Sorry, it's so stupid. I just find it unfathomable, and I do believe it is that. Again, I believe it comes from that background, like Stefan said. The people that comment like that are the ones that find contentment very early on in their life, and they don't necessarily seek a higher level of achievement. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you'll never understand our brain because we're not that. Like again,
You know,
we may know we're never gonna we may never win the Olympia. We may have
what
but like I said, you've gone further than you ever fucking anticipated.
what people also don't understand, and that's really an important fact of all that, you know, we do not have all the same base. We don't have all the same opportunity. We don't have all the same chances. Even if you work your ass off and do everything on point, perfect, all goes well, 99.9999999% of everyone who trains perfectly won't get Mr. Olympia. It's not in our fucking hands.
Yeah.
And if your lead insertions are high or you have past injuries, should you stop then everything? Because you just don't have the possibility to get there. And should you stop trying to get the best out of your life and the best out of your passion because you can't get to the top in that specific moment? That's
Sure.
just shit.
Right.
I had to internalize the same kind of conversation with a couple of athletes when they were getting ready for like pro cards, right? And they didn't get it. They were maybe a point off or two, and they were very devastated. And I said, wait a second, what's the difference? I understand, right? I get it. But what is the difference tomorrow? There is no difference tomorrow. Because tomorrow you're either still an amateur or you're a new pro. But either which way, you're going to do another show in 12 months' time. So tomorrow, you're going to go back into an off season. You're going to rest and recover. You're going to repeat to get better for the next stage, whether that's another amateur stage or another pro stage or the Olympia or whatever. The process and what we do is just so repetitive and repeat, repeat, repeat. But that's the win rather than getting caught up in terms of like what term what the outside world deems success, right? Which is, oh, he won the show, he won the pro card.
The thing is, there are two things happening at the same time here. We all have like a childlike competitive spirit that's like, I want to be Mr. Olympia. That's like this grand delusion or a grand thought you have in your mind. But there's also a real life happening at the same time. So like, we'll take James, for example, since he's still actively competing. There is I keep saying childlike, it's just the way I think of it. There's a very like childlike notion of I'm just going to compete and be the best in the world. It's like this outrageously delusional thing that you have to be able to chase it. You have to be able to think that way to chase it. But then at the same time, James is also a man that earns a living, that has a family, that gets paid. So both of these things exist at the same time. It's like, yes, I might not win, but I'm still earning enough to take care of my family, but I also still want to get better. Go ahead, Stefan.
And the most important thing is that dream and that inner pursuit to that goal. That's very, very important and very, very good. But on the other hand, you are not allowed to compare the result with the worth of your human being.
Yes. Agree. Yeah.
And that's the problem with this. That's the problem with this.
Because that's the problem, and that's most of the time the issues. You know, we are now in our small bodybuilding bubble, but when it comes to sports at the moment, maybe just Ben can follow that thing because he is also into Formula One. What the media and the people out there are now doing with Lando Norris, that's just incredible. You know, Lando Norris is one of the best racing drivers in the world. He was leading the world championship. He was second last year. Now he lost it to his team partner because he has mental struggles. He always has self-confidence problems. He always searches the mistakes first at his person. No, I wasn't able to drive the car well, blah, blah, blah. And all the media, all the fucking media in the world in that big industry tells him, no, you're never gonna be world champion. You are not good. You don't have the psychologic frame to be world champion without letting a young boy getting out with his emotions and maybe trying to get better in that. He's still one of the most of the best Formula One drivers in periods. It's just a shame that our time changed to a time where everything is immediately judged and said, no, you're gonna fuck up and that's not good what you do.
Yeah.
Crazy,
But
even on that level, it's insane.
but I think you're saying what you said originally was that you can't tie your self-worth to your performance.
Yes.
The problem is I think we do that, not necessarily, it comes internally, not necessarily externally.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah.
we all suffer on that.
Like I
But
think
the
I think when you're bodybuilding for 20 years, or James, you've been bodybuilding competing for
no, every
15 years.
successful people
Yeah.
with passion will do that.
I
That's
think when you
completely
I think when
natural.
you
But we
yeah, I
must get rid of that. That's the point.
but
We
that's
could
a
have
myth.
a much better, we can get a much better life and can be much more successful if you really achieve to disconnect that.
I don't think it's possible.
So hang on, I did this
Go ahead, Ben.
recently.
Go ahead.
I did something recently to this, which is I was tying my success into my internal definition of my own success. I was tying it all as one bundle, right? So I separate myself but I have two different things, right? I have my personal life and my work life, and one impacts the other so heavily that I had to actually disconnect them and be like, I'm successful in my house, with my family. I can have a successful family home life,
Yeah.
whilst my career is crashing and burning, and they don't.
But they're connected though, Ben. But they're
They
connected.
no, they are, but it's my job to keep them somewhat separate and
Well,
not let it get as impactful as it has been in the past. Because there'll be times where, especially like post Olympia, I get like competitors do, the post show blues, and I'd be like,
yeah.
but it would be so impactful to the rest of my day outside of in this office and working and whatnot, right? And I think it's been a big help for me to try to separate the two away as much as I can. They are tied, of course.
So I understand what you're saying, but the problem arises when in your version of what you're saying, and I have a different version of it, but in your version, you can try and separate them, but the problem is if your career starts to crash and burn and you can no longer provide the same luxuries for your family that you could, then the two things are connected. Now you feel like less of a man because you're like, fuck, I used to be able to take my kid to Disneyland 4 times a year. Now I can't.
Yes, but that takes what I mean by that is I'm not oblivious to the connection, but
Okay.
I can't let one impact the other on a day-to-day basis.
No, not on a day-to-day basis. You're right.
Right. And
Yeah.
so I go, okay, there is something impacting here. I've got to go back and fix this to stop it from crashing
Right.
and burning. But I can't while this is going on and while I'm fixing it, I can't let that impact the success that I've already built here that is
Yeah.
stable, because that's just going to be poison to here.
So
You know what?
let me ask you guys on an athlete level. So let's take the family out of it. Let's take the athlete level. And Stefan, you're saying that you can't value your self-worth based on your career. But the problem, I think, is
No, it's not that easy. That's not exactly what I mean, you know?
tell me
Okay,
exactly
let's explain it in a case.
Yeah.
Okay. You are prepping for a show.
Yep.
You are doing the show, everything runs, you are fucking working your ass off. Everything in the end goes as it can go. You know, there will be ups and downs and nothing is always perfect. And you have fucking done your job. That's the point. You have fucking done your job.
Right.
And the result isn't great. And media starts to bash on you and
Right.
people starting bashing on you. The only thing which should stand out should be for you and your let's call it now self-love, you know, should stand out. I motherfucking gave everything. I tried everything. I've done my fucking job and that's okay and good for me. You can be disappointed that you didn't got the placing you were wanting for. But when you start to getting those comments, when you start to getting the negative feeling of the placing more then the achievement you did with the work, you will get into serious problems. Not if that happens one, but
But I
if it
don't-
happens twice, three times, four times, you will lose your passion and you will lose the love to things you actually want to do.
Let me ask you. I don't. I believe that if
Especially in bodybuilding, you know, when it's
let me ask you this.
so hard to be objectively.
Let me ask you if you think this statement makes any sense.
Yeah.
I believe that if a statement online bothers you, there's something in you that's already bothered by it.
Yeah, but because
Yeah,
we
sure.
all have because we
So-
all have things in us which
No. So hear me out. So hear me out.
Yeah.
In your scenario of the guy who did his best but didn't have the outcome that he wanted. If people are shitting on him online and it's affecting him, that's because he's already affected by the fact that he didn't get the outcome that he wanted.
Oh, listen, like no matter what they write online, you've said way worse to yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Internally,
what
way
I'm saying.
worse.
Because if you did the show at your absolute best and you felt good about what you did, nobody's comments would bother you. There's something in you already that is disappointed that you didn't get the result you wanted. So then those
Yeah, they pry
comments
on you when you're already down.
right. So like
And that's just because we're exposing ourselves to that.
and Stefan, I disagree as a competitor myself. I have done shows where I did my absolute best. I crossed every T, I dotted every I. I fucking did the therapy. I fucking went to bed on time. I did every single thing I fucking could and still didn't get the result I wanted. And it didn't make me feel any better. I didn't feel good thinking, oh, I did everything I could. No, I thought actually made me feel worse. And
You
that's
feel
why-
like you feel like you don't have the ability, and then it makes
Listen,
you question
So,
yourself.
so
Yeah,
would you
but-
would
but-
you have,
but-
would you would you have felt different
But
if you'd have won
but
and-
to point
Hold on,
now the
just to
salt in the
finish the-
wound that because you thought like that was maybe the reason why you always in big shows had trouble to get it mentally set up.
No,
You
that's
don't
not-
think?
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, you're right, but this is why self-sabotage comes into play. Because the most hurtful thing that can happen to you as a competitor, or at least I'll speak for myself, is when you do your absolute best and you still take second place, then you're like, well, fuck, maybe I'm not that good.
You feel like your ceiling's
Yeah,
lower
but
than
that's
So then
the
next
point
time-
I'm
so then
telling
the next
about.
time- I know, but
And
then
when
the
you
next
go
time you do
when
a
you
show-
go to the best bodybuilders in the world, they were all able to live quite good with that motherfucking setbacks.
listen, what I'm saying to you is, let's take show number one. That happens. You do everything you
Yeah.
can. You take
Yeah.
second, third, or whatever.
Yeah.
Show number two comes around. There's a thing called self-sabotage. Now maybe you don't cross every T and you don't not dot every I, or maybe during your peak week, you fucking eat a little bit more food or you do too much cardio. And then that way, when you fucking take second or third, you can point to that thing and go, oh yeah, but I cheated on my diet, or I didn't sleep enough, or I didn't fucking
But
do
the
therapy
point
or
I
whatever.
want to say is when you are able to disconnect that to that bad feeling,
Yes.
you are able to improve because you won't get that into that self-sabotaging thing. That's the point.
Okay,
And
okay,
I
so
think the
I agree with-
greatest champs of all time, they were able to handle that in a way that they say, okay, it was bad. It didn't come out like it should. I don't give a fuck because I know I can it. I did the work. I will progress. Next time will be better. I think
So I agree.
that's the magic point for the winners.
I believe this is a conversation I've had so often of late with people that have been around the industry for a long time. I really, truly believe that one thing that is affecting most of us of all is the post-show analysis that was never there beforehand. So we used to come off stage, we'd self-analyze, and with our closest peers, we'd self-analyze. And then we know we'd have a whole year to go in our own space, in our own headspace, without influence, to be able to correct ourselves and come back and improve without any external voices being battered towards you. The age of social media, I know we always talk about the age of social media, has unfortunately prevented us from being able to do that and have that peace. Because tomorrow, the day after the show, you're online and already there's some channel talking about you and how you're not improved or you're worse. So no, but what I'm trying to say is the exposure to that, it's definitely caused us to spend more time in that thought pattern of being down more. than when before. Because before I could lose a show before, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a year now to prepare myself, silence, work hard in my own place, in my own space, and no one's fucking talking to me. When you're being spoken to every day by people who are quite frankly fucking idiots, and if you put them in your shoes, they would fall off. They wouldn't even be in the position you're in. They'd lose their sponsorships. They'd fucking end up in a bin somewhere because they couldn't handle the pressure. Giving you that shit every day, it's like fuck me, man. Like that's where the industry's changed the most, in my opinion.
I
Sorry,
agree
that's
with
what I'm
you.
ranting.
No, it's okay. I agree with you to a certain extent, but this really isn't different. Look, it's more immediate. I'll give you that. But the pressure isn't really any different than the past.
No, but the pressure was easy to manage when you only having a conversation with your
Less
own
noise.
thoughts.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
less
that's not.
noise.
That's not
I always felt that. I always felt
no,
that.
but hold on a minute, because I was a competitor during the magazine era. You still had the same criticisms. You still had a lot of the same people talking. You still had the message boards to deal with. The difference is it's more immediate now.
That's the
Wait,
problem. It's
yeah,
the immediacy.
if you
It's the immediacy.
if you speak to someone like Lee Labrada about this, because he's the kind of couple of generations even before the magazine, well, not before the magazine era, but even before where you're at, he agrees with James. Is that the noise is deafening now versus, and there's also be the time difference, right? Because you walk off stage and where you're at emotionally versus a week later are two very different points. So if you have that time of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to process your
Heal.
own thoughts without getting bombarded, which is
Okay.
inevitable because it's so immediate, it's right there, you can't avoid it.
So I don't
Um,
disagree with you guys, but we're still getting away from the fact of what Stefan said, because it's still eternal. It's still
It is
still internal.
100%.
But no
But
matter what anybody says out here, I don't care if it's the minute you got off stage or a month after you got off stage. Whatever they're saying is only being amplified because you're
for
feeling
sure, for sure.
Yeah, for
But
sure,
can you agree? Can you
100%.
agree? Can you agree that? Can you agree? Sorry, agree. Can you agree that the internal that happened back then was easier to use as fuel because you were conversing with yourself and you were like, I want to change this, rather than every day someone beating you down on what you're already feeling and dragging you down further than you already are. Because that's the fucking problem. We all come out of a show and feel like we didn't do good enough. But normally you could go away and be like, I didn't do good enough, so I'm going to work harder. That's end of the narrative. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't do good enough. The next day, oh, you definitely didn't do good enough. You should do something else. Oh, okay. All right. Next day. Yeah, man, I'd probably do something else if I was you. Fuck me. How many times is someone going to tell me what I'm already feeling? That's the fucking problem with today.
Yeah.
I feel,
But-
because like I said, I could
but that-
manage my
But let me
own
ask you this.
issues. I could manage.
But let me ask you this, James.
Yep.
And this is we're gonna dig really deep. So
Yeah, we should. We should. I
it's
think we
a
should.
therapy session.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere in your pit of your stomach that's like, when you get off stage and you didn't do as well as you wanted, do you go to yourself, maybe I should be doing something else. Maybe this isn't for me.
Oh, of course, sometimes, of course.
Okay,
But then,
this is my
but
point.
there's always,
But
there's
hold
always
on.
a little flame that says, fuck that.
But hold on a minute. This is my point. The fact that you're having those feelings, right? Combined with the fact that somebody's saying it to you every day,
Oh, of
it
course.
makes the fucking noise louder.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
What Stefan is saying, if I'm not incorrect in what I'm hearing, is it's not even a thought if you can disconnect your value from your competitiveness, your competitive nature. Because you're like, yeah, I took second, but I'm still great at what I do. I'm still getting paid, and you disconnect the two things, right? Okay,
No,
go. Stefan, go.
No, I mean it completely different.
Okay, tell me.
Because, there have been times, and they are still there, when we said we're gonna deep, where I sit crying in my bed because I can't stand it anymore, because I thought that it's a mistake and it's bad and I can't do the job anymore and I want to quit, blah, blah, blah. Because I think I'm the purest competitive guy out there, because I always want to win and always want to give the best and everything. And that betters someone then. And that leads to things that, for example, when I wake up, I don't even want to stand up because the pressure is so big, And as I'm doing that since 20 years, I always go to therapy now, also since 20 years, to start dealing with that things, because as you said, that all is internal. That
Right.
all is internal, and everything which triggers you because you have a problem.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what I said. You need to learn to come along with that internals. And
Okay.
you need to find ways with that internal. And for me, the way is to really focus on the internal things, what I can control and what I believe, and checking it if that was done good or not. If it's not was done good, find a solution to do it better the next time. But you can't let the pressure take over you because you won't be able to do a good performance.
Can I ask you something, Fouad? Because I listened to the Dorian.
That's the point.
I listened to the Dorian episode earlier with you on the 100th episode, and so
Sure.
much stuff he said resonated. You know, he said like obviously his father died when he was like 13, so he kind of there was something he said that was very profound. But obviously, listen, his history. All I'm going to say is his history made him the person he was. I wonder how Dorian would have dealt with the current time, because I don't think he would have been able to cope with this fucking noise. As much as he was militant, I don't think he would have.
I think you would have,
I think-
because this is why. I think you ever have somebody say something to you and it's completely ridiculous, like it doesn't even, there's not
Yeah.
one iota of truth to it. Like if somebody said,
But when you want to be
Like, if it-
perfect, you still think about it.
if somebody said to you,
That's the problem.
if somebody said to you, James, you're fucking weak. Your squat sucks. You're not strong. You wouldn't even like, you would just go like this. You would just go like this. You'd be like, whatever, fuck
For
off.
sure, because there's no insecurity there.
That's my fucking point.
Yes,
You understand?
and but that's what I'm trying to say.
So when you ask about Dorian Yates,
Mm,
I see somebody that was so focused that it wasn't emotional. There was no insecurity. He was like, I imagine if Dorian Yates existed in this era, he probably would have only followers that followed him, but he wouldn't be responding to any of them.
mm.
He would probably have, he would
He-
probably post a black and white out of a gym once in a while, and people would
Yeah.
follow. He wouldn't fucking respond, and he would just do his thing.
See, who's similar to that, right, in this current era that I've been around is Sam. Sam Sulek is very
Sam is
very
Dorian Yates.
similar.
But
He's
no, but-
very
well,
much of that mindset where
Dorian wouldn't be
he-
posting all that shit.
No. Okay, forget that. But the way he handles
The way he ignores everything.
the
Yeah.
way it doesn't matter what anyone says
Right.
at all to him. It really fucking doesn't. And I've
I
been,
agree.
we've been on the other side of the curtain with him enough to know that that's true. He doesn't really give two fucks.
Yeah.
And that's a very difficult quality to have. But to talk on the point, like you have those insecurities and then you have the securities, right? So back in the day, you'd get off stage and your confidence would be allowed to get nourished a little bit by your circle, right? By your wife, by your coach, by your friends, and be like, oh, that's a tough loss, but listen, like we can do this and we can do that and we can move forward. And you have a chance for that side of your internal conversation to be heard, right? The positive side or the optimistic side of things.
Get it.
Whereas nowadays, those people are still saying what they're saying, but they're getting drowned out by this loudness of which are confirming your internal insecurities.
I'm not saying,
right?
I'm agreeing with you guys. I guess what I'm
No,
saying,
I can tell you are.
I guess I'm going back to what Stefan is saying, in that you have to strengthen your character so that it doesn't fucking matter to you. Because like when James, if I say to you, your squat sucks and you're fucking weak, you're not batting a fucking eye.
Oh mate,
You're
I thought.
gonna
Fucking
laugh.
hooray.
You know what I mean? So it's like, obviously someone is saying something to you that you don't feel good about, so it's affecting you.
But the truth of the matter is, because for example, the squat, I've done it.
Right.
And because I've done it, you can never take it away. But in my
Right.
bodybuilding, in our bodybuilding, we
Right.
don't feel like we've done it. Whatever it is, there's something that we haven't done yet that doesn't give us that confidence to be so
Right.
sure of ourselves that when someone says something that we just go, you're a fucking knob. Because really, I should already be doing that, because I've already been to the Olympia multiple times and I've been with amazing companies and I've lived a life where I'm able to fucking actually live as a bodybuilder. But for some reason, a deep down insecurity makes you feel like you're not good enough. And this all stems from, I believe, our childhoods and our upbringing. And
I
it's
don't,
something-
I think, well, yes, but I also think it stems from just your competitive nature.
and
you're-
that, but it's competitive nature. Is it born or is it nurtured? I don't know.
We're all competitive people,
Yeah.
and somewhere in you, when you started sorry, Stefan, just give me 1 second. When we all started competing, you're probably the same as me.
Yeah.
When I started competing, I never thought I was going to win the Olympia. I wasn't like, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia one day. Like, I never thought that. But I thought I would do well. I'm like, maybe I'll win an Arnold. Maybe I'll be the top 3 at the Arnold.
Yeah.
So when those things start to disappear from your career, even though you did all of these great things and you have built a life and you take care of your family, there's still that, like, that's why I kept saying childlike.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
still like 20-year-old kid that's
It's like when you don't get that bike for Christmas.
it's like I still want to be top 3 at the Arnold. I still want to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's still that fucking voice in there going like, how come I'm not there? How come I haven't gotten there?
And then this is where you have to answer the question: why are you competitive though? Why are you competitive? What stemmed you to be a competitive person? Because our reasons for being competitive all vary. I'm only a competitive person because I feel insecure about myself.
Do you think that's the only reason you're competitive?
100%. It's driven totally from not feeling like I'm good enough for anything.
Hold on a minute. That would mean that anybody competitive.
No, that's my reason.
No, he said
Oh, that's your reason. That's your
my
reason.
reason. My reason.
Sorry, Stefan, go ahead.
No, it is.
You're waiting. Go ahead.
To go back to what you said, I don't think that it is part of being competitive, because I think that competitive people, we are all kind of competitive, but the true winners or that great champions, they all had that psychological strength never to bother when they are not there where they want to be or where they think they could be. You see that in absolute every sport, not only in bodybuilding. And I really like that connection to race driving, because if you put out Max Verstappen, he came in the Formula One with 17 years, youngest guy ever. You know, he did so much bullshit. He crashed. Everything was fucked up. Then he had his first race win with 19. You know, then came the bad time where Mercedes was so dominant and he just wasn't able to catch up. All they said, no, he's not gonna be a world champion, blah, blah, blah. He never be. But he always behaved like, I know what I'm doing. I'm fucking good. Give me the time and I will develop that winning thing. And now he's just unbeatable. Even when there are races between, when the car is fucked up, he does some mistake, which he nearly never does because he has that high self-confidence. He's indestructible.
Yeah.
And even if we take a look at our champions, if we take a look at Ronnie, his career started not really good. You know, he had fucking shit placings. He had fun and he believed in himself and got there. Even Samson, you know, how long did Samson's career now go into not really well placings unless 2 years ago or 3 years ago where everything exploded?
I'll tell you an
And
example.
I think a huge thing of Samson really winning the Olympia was his psychological strength after that downtime when they all shit on him. And he really learned how, let's say, love himself, because that self-love phrase is a really important and good one. So
Well,
that's
I just want to answer
the thing when it goes forward.
I just want to answer this one. Jay Mullen says, Fouad, you argue too much. Let other people have their own opinion. Geez. I just want to say this is a discussion. It's not an argument. We're discussing something actually really deep. And it's supposed to like get what the reason I'm having this discussion is because people watching this, if they compete, have probably felt a lot of these things, or if they're trying to be a pro, they need to know what they're in store for. So
Stefan's right. There's a stat. I don't know the numbers, right? But if you look at Jordan, it lists all of the shots he missed and all the games he lost versus all the points he made and all the games he won. And it's not.
Yeah, but they say both. They don't say one of it. They don't just say the bad stuff.
Sorry?
They don't just say the bad stuff. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying in terms of what Stefan was saying, we're winners, like not competitiveness, but winners. Winners don't let the losses weigh on them.
Sure.
Yeah.
They understand that it's part of their progression and they're able to move forward. Like I had it with my stepson the other day where he wanted to stop doing something because he kept getting it wrong, right? And I'm like, that mentality there, don't let that foster into something.
Okay. Time out though. I agree with you, but there is a breaking point for everybody. So what I mean by that is this. When I met Samson, he was at a point where he was like, if I don't make it, I might do something else.
Sure.
Well, there was that line there for him where he was like,
but you don't think every champion has that point in
in
time
his career,
where they
I
have to
do.
say, okay, I got to go all in now, or I got to go all the way out.
I do. But what I'm saying to you is, no, it's not about going all in. Samson was all in.
You know, like either carry
No.
on or I step out. There's a point in time
Yeah.
where
But
everyone considers that.
right. But what I'm saying to you is, let's say you say to yourself, you know what, this is the last one. If I don't do well here, I'm going to do something else with my life. And then you don't do well. So you start to rationalize things. You're like, well, I didn't do well, but I'm making a good living and I'm taking care of my family. I'm going to keep going. Then you do the next one. You don't do as well. Slowly, over time, that confidence that you had in your 20s leading into your 30s is not the fucking same. So those champions that you're talking about, Stefan, whether it be the race car driver, whether it be the bodybuilders, Ronnie or Samson, whoever, they happen to keep going this way. But if they would have slipped, then
But they
But
they slipped. They slipped. They all slipped somehow, immensely.
but it's got to be continuous, right? It's not slip. Like, I don't think about all the people you talked about. They all
Yeah.
have a slow incline to greatness. Ronnie, Samson. Ever since I met Samson, he's been doing this. Wasn't like this, but it was going this way, right? So he kept that confidence kept going for him because he kept
Yeah,
doing
but
better.
still, it was, it was. One problem is that a lot of people, even ourselves, want the things too fast. But even Samson, he was hustling around, let's say 3 or 4 years in that third to fifth spot.
yeah, and it only looks like
You know?
this progress. It only looks like this now once you step far enough back.
No, it
'Cause
doesn't.
But it,
at the time it probably felt he was stagnant. Like
Now,
Stefan was
hold
like,
on a minute. Hold on a minute. I don't remember a time ever in Samson's career where he went backwards.
no,
no,
never.
but
That I didn't say.
to him, when he was in that like 3 to 6 and couldn't break in, he probably felt like he was treading water, like he was stuck and in.
But
He
for
did.
most people,
In that
but for
world.
most people of us, that staying in line in that 3 to 5th place is exactly the problem. Because if you wouldn't be in that space, you would probably not be the guy who wants to proceed with that.
Yeah.
I think I think the most struggle makes that, okay, it's going that ways and not going up. For sure, there are also that big injury cutoffs or all that stuff. But mental really hard is that, okay, the jump on top doesn't happen.
I just don't think, Stefan, I don't think I think there has to be an element of skill or physicality to go with the confidence. I don't think confidence is enough to
So-
make you a champion.
No, it's not enough, but good people are a lot of out there. And I see so many people who are really sabotaging themselves.
But I've
who
asked,
would have the tools.
I have asked this question. You know, I asked this question to Chris Bumstead
Yeah.
because we've had the debate on this show before of, do champions have an innate confidence, or is that confidence built?
No, they handle it better. They
No.
handle it better.
Well, listen, I'm not going to say no. It's everybody's probably different. But when I asked Chris said to me, it's something you build as you go, which would say to me that champions aren't any different than any other bodybuilder. If you keep getting a better placing, your confidence is going to keep growing and growing and growing. So that's,
Yeah, but in most cases, it's 5 years quite the same. And
most,
still then, in most cases of those champions, it was very long the same. Let's count out Phil, let's count out Dorian, let's count out Chris. But for the most champions,
who are you going to
it's
count?
just
Who are
a
you going to
longer
count then? If you counted Jay,
Brandon Curry is a good example.
you counted
Brandon
Jay-
Curry is a good example.
I think he's a good example.
Sean Roden is a good example. You know, for just when we talk about bodybuilding.
Look, I'm not saying there isn't guys that struggled and then found a way to fix it. There definitely is. But I'm saying if you're talking about most champions, I think
But
most,
especially also when I go to those racing drivers, you know, they even with racing driving, it's a little bit similar to bodybuilding. That's why I love in bodybuilding. You are you need the judges to play your game,
right.
you know, and as racing driver, you need the car to play your game. And even if you are the best motherfucking racing driver, but you have sat 7 years in a motherfucking car, you need to deal with that until you get the chance. You're not allowed to back down on the belief in yourself because of the results.
Yeah. I read this comment real quick. You guys are awesome. Ultimately, aren't you more proud of your own personal goals at the end of the day rather than the goals and expectations set up on you? That's what keeps me moving. Pride in my work.
Yeah, 100%, and that's why I still do it.
But those expectations are set by us, not by other people.
Yeah. But yeah, like that person just said, the reason I still bodybuild is because I still believe and I still am. I'm happy with the progress I see to a degree. I feel like there's more in there. It's just unfortunate that you get bombarded by a lot of noise that makes you. It can actually can almost sway you towards because you think you can think two things at once. You don't necessarily all think I'm the bad or I'm good. You have both in your mind at different times of the day.
Yeah.
So all it is how much time do you spend in what side of your mind? How much time can you spend in the positive versus the negative? And all I think is that I found it a lot easier to stay in the positive side when there wasn't much noise versus staying in the negative side. I find the negative side, when I hear things that are external, unfortunately, what they do is they swing the favor of the arrow into that part of my brain where I'm like, oh shit, they've got a point here. They've got a point. And then you live in that headspace for a little bit too long. It becomes harder to get out of.
Here's the thing, right, James? And you said something at the very
I'm sorry.
beginning.
Can I? Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead. Sorry.
So, James, you said something at the very beginning, which is something along the lines of like they don't basically they don't speak the same language as you, right? Or as us, right? So if you took all of those negative comments and someone filtered like an AI filtered them so that whenever they wrote them, they posted them to Japanese and you couldn't understand it and translate it because you don't speak Japanese. Right. So it's like just because they can converse with you in written English, they don't fucking understand you anyway, man. So you can't let it penetrate. I mean, that's very easy to say, but
I just
to
wanted
my point.
to go back to this comment real quick. And he says, aren't you more proud of your personal goals at the end of the day rather than the goals and expectations set up on you? And I'm like, I think both things can be true. This is what James, you're saying, right? Like you can be
It is like that,
proud of
I
the
would
stuff
say.
you're done, but you still have
It starts that way. It starts that way, and then, like you said, the contracts come and the affirmation of like, oh, if I do well on
no,
stage, then I get.
I guess ultimately what I'm saying is the expectations are put on us by ourselves. They're not put on us by other people. I know other people want us to be, like for James, for example, because he's still active. People are like, well, James, we expect you to be top 10 at the Olympia. But James already has that expectation of himself. So
I have higher expectations of myself than anybody. That's why I'm how I am.
There is still a reward mechanism that is compounded when you do well and the audience or fan base are on board and on side.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's a feeling that is that dopamine feeling of and the confidence that gives you is undeniable, right? It's hard to shut that off.
Anybody who tells me, I've talked to a lot of people about this topic privately and on the podcast. Anybody who tells me that they're not affected by comments at all on social media, I call bullshit. Because it doesn't mean necessarily it cripples you. It doesn't necessarily mean it depresses you. But even if it's positive,
it could charge you.
If you post something and everybody loves it and they, whatever either it's your physique or you did something great and they're congratulating you or something, that's got, even if it's subconscious, there's something there.
Yeah.
So
we're human at the end. We are human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Before we're a bodybuilder, before we're a champion, before we're a racing driver, we're human.
Yeah.
And that ultimately means that we respond in certain ways to certain things.
James, every time you're on, we get into these deep fucking.
I love them. I think it's great to have these conversations.
I think it's good too. People watching can kind of understand the mindset more. This guy says, Fouad, remember when you said Samson could be the next Ronnie Coleman when he won the Mr. Olympia, talking about his potential, yet he loses 4 months later to Derek at the Arnold? Come on, bro.
See, that's the kind of comment.
Well, Ronnie lost to the
Gunther in 2002.
To Gunther.
And then he went on and won, and then he went on and won 7 more fucking.
This might be the exact fuel Samson needs. Like comments like that just baffle me.
And look, I'll be the first to say, if anybody who watches this show knows that I think Ronnie Coleman is the fucking king of kings. Right. There is not even a fucking, in my opinion, and maybe I'm a huge fanboy. There's not even a close second place. Like Ronnie is fucking Ronnie.
Yeah, I think Ronnie 98 and 99, no one's touching ever.
When I said Samson could be the next Ronnie, I did not mean in physique, even though you never know that those things are up in the air. What I meant was, I
The
I
range.
saw him being dominant. He was the one with the most potential to be dominant. Now, whether the pieces of the puzzle fit together and he becomes that dominant person, that's up in the air, right? Like you might miss a peak, you might not miss a peak, you might whatever, like, but does he have the physique to have a dynasty physique? For sure, he does.
Yeah.
There's nobody else in the league right now that if they put it all together 100% would be as dominant as Samson. The problem
Also,
is
Derek
Samson hasn't figured out 100% yet. But that should scare the fuck out of everybody because he
Which
won
he
the
does.
Olympics at like 95%.
Yeah, the muscle is there. Also, Derek is a good example, you know. Everybody wrote him off after the Olympia, you know.
Yeah.
And to come back with that quality was honestly quite quite breathtaking.
Yeah. No, look, that's happened a lot. I mean, the best example I can think of that is Branch Warren. When Branch Warren tore his quad, and there's actually a few times.
What was that, in September or something?
Yeah, he
or
tore his quad in
August?
like September, and then he went and won the
Yeah.
Arnold 4 months later, 5 months later. There's a whole bunch of stories of people that have like overcome adversity. I'm not trying to disagree that that's definitely part of bodybuilding.
Every competitive or successful stories, you know, it's not even different for a manager
Yeah,
who must do decisions. You know, if you get overwhelmed by negativity, you won't do the right decisions. It's
sure.
as easy as it is.
For sure.
we have some bodybuilding shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Get
Wow,
off-
look at my arm.
Big tricep.
It looks massive.
What?
Look at the girth.
I wanted to show
Girth.
this popped up today.
Okay.
Yeah, Nick's looking good.
You guys are going to be shocked at maybe, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or maybe it's getting more popular, but I think Nick can beat Derek.
I
It's not
don't think, I don't think so.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, wait.
Personally, I don't think so.
I think he can win shots. I don't think he can win the
Stefan, me
shot.
and you are going to fucking debate, baby. Come on. Tell me,
I did a prediction of the show today.
tell me why you think Derek can beat Nick. Tell me what poses he beats Nick in. Tell me there. Let's start there.
All the back poses?
No.
Yes.
Not first of all, if he does, which he might,
Yeah.
maybe.
Mhm.
And I've said this before, and you should know this.
Front
When you-
double biceps?
Listen, just hold on a minute. When you look
Front
at a back
lat spread?
let me finish.
Yes!
When you look at a back shot, it's
Yeah.
not just the back.
The hams and the
No, I
glutes.
don't
It's the
talk
back of,
about
it's
that.
the back of it's the back of the arms, it's the back of the shoulders, it's the fucking hamstring separation.
Yeah.
Nick has all of that over Derek.
Apart
Derek
from the back, and that's it.
Derek only has the back and maybe the glutes better than Nick.
That will be enough.
That's what so you're saying
A good
Just
back
the
and glutes is enough.
is enough to win that entire shot.
Well, yeah, Dorian didn't have the arms, did he?
That's
Dorian
true.
won the back shot.
Because
Yeah, but Derek's back- but is
because
Derek-
I see Derek's back so much better than Nick wants.
Yeah, but
Especially in depth. Yeah, and
But-
Nick only has the hamstrings.
no.
Your argue is completely the
No,
same.
that's
No,
not true.
we are talking.
I have the whole body. I have the whole
Put it
fucking.
out. Put it up. Put it up.
No.
I want to see.
What you said, Derek just has the back.
How did you minimize that to hamstrings? What the fuck are you talking about?
But how can you, Derek, just minimize to the back?
I'm saying if you compare Derek's double bicep and you
Yeah.
compare it to Nick's back double bicep,
Yeah.
every body part on Nick's physique is better except the back.
Then put a stage picture of both next to each other, not a picture in a posing room with shadows as motherfucking hell.
Okay.
Those
Okay.
motherfucking hell.
You know, everybody can post shadow pictures.
All right, let's take a look. Nick's got a nasty back double bicep. You're not going to win this argument.
Yeah, do Derek next to him.
Huh?
Do just Derek next to him.
Okay, we're going to 1 second.
Yeah,
Hasn't
just
someone
do
compare?
that.
Surely someone's done a compilation of comparisons.
just-
of Nick
just
Max
do
Watson.
Derek.
Muscles probably done one.
Yeah.
Just do Derek next to him. And
Hey.
then we talk about it.
Just hold
Do
on.
Derek next to them. Yeah.
I'm not a fucking like listen, I didn't build my own
He
website.
did-
I don't know how to do it.
yeah. He doesn't have to do this. Put two images over
Okay,
the fucking.
if you're looking at this physique, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. Fouad, there's a video.
I don't like the back at all. Sorry.
Wait a second. Tell me, Ben. Where am I looking?
Go. I'll send you the link here.
Where'd you send it?
The-
Email?
No. I WhatsApp. I'll email it to you.
Email it to me.
I WhatsApped it to you, but
Yeah, email it to me.
there's a direct comparison. Actually, just go and type in Nick Walker versus Derek Lunsford, and it's called Nick Walker Arnold Classic 23 versus Derek Lunsford 04 Olympia. This is like the first video that pops up.
Okay.
24 Olympia or what? Okay, it was a bad Derek, but
Oh wow. Okay.
still.
It's not the best Nick. Well, actually,
Will still be enough. I think so.
We'll see. We shall see.
it's on the guy called Superset Man Blitz Mashups or something. Matchups.
Okay. What do you see, Stefan? Tell
Make
me
it
I'm
up.
wrong. Tell me
No,
I'm
put it
wrong.
up. You got to share it.
Oh, fuck.
Make
Looking at it by
it up.
myself.
Make it up.
Little private party.
Just
Fuck
make it
you.
up.
Tell me. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't even see it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? There's zero.
Everything.
mean
Everything.
everything?
Yeah.
There's no lines here.
He's
this.
just not.
Look
He's
at
just
the
not.
zero
He's
detail.
just not.
Zero
he's
detail.
not. Zero detail in his back and zero detail in his glutes.
Zero detail in his
And on the other
hamstring,
side,
and he's got small arms.
Foot.
He's got- Oh.
Those two pictures, even when that was Derek's worst shape, he's beating him by far.
You think he's beating him in this shot?
Yes.
No.
Just his hamstrings are more in. That's all.
And his arms are better, and the pose looks better. It's just Derek's
No.
got thicker
No,
lats.
Nick's got his elbows a bit high there, isn't he?
No, I like it. I like this pose better.
No, do you?
Never.
Oh, that's why he's
Really?
lost some thickness in
No
his back.
way.
If he had his
Yeah, if he
elbows
pulled
down, his
him
back would
down,
look thicker.
if he put him down in line with Derek, he'd look better.
Listen, there's nothing in this shot except for the fucking lats that are better than Nick's.
The shoulders are the same. The glutes are better. The back is better. Just the hamstrings. The calves are maybe better.
Oh, you mean just the limbs, the hamstrings and the arms?
Yeah.
Just the limb, just all of his body except for his back is what you're saying.
I think Derek, except his arms and his hamstrings, are better in Derek's option.
His
And
legs,
Derek is just
legs
Derek
and
is
arms. Don't minimize it. His
Derek
legs-
is just
his
posing
legs-
his legs shit.
Shots.
Huh?
Yeah, I have those two shots.
Oh, Yannika's picking Nick out of those two shots.
Yeah, because she's right.
It's on
'Cause
Team
she knows-
Fouad. You're on Fouad's
Easy
team.
Oh,
not.
no, I changed my mind.
Changed my mind.
Easy not.
Oh, you
What
mean
about the last
you're
words?
not even? You're crazy. You know what? This is all I'll say, Stefan. You lose.
I'm
every,
not. I,
you lose
I,
every
I'm,
prediction. You lose every
I'm not.
prediction.
I'm not even a Derek fan. But come on.
I am okay. Listen. First of all, that's his best pose.
Yeah, show the other ones.
Okay,
Don't
let's
be scared.
let's show.
Don't be scared. Do the others also.
Pittsburgh.
We're gonna bet on this show. You're gonna grow a mustache, motherfucker.
Oh, the front double's not even close.
It is close.
The front
It is-
double's close.
I think
No.
that's close. It is
No.
close.
No.
No.
I'm sorry. Nick's legs are bigger. His waist doesn't look bad when he's got control of
Yeah,
it.
but
And his
still,
his arms are better.
Okay, all right. In this instance, take Derek's on classic front double. It destroys.
I don't know. I don't think destroyed,
Whoa.
man. I think this is a lot closer than you think.
and
Not the
it's
front
Derek's
double.
worst. It's
And
Derek's worst condition ever.
Okay, listen. Even if I said to you, Derek will win, this is not a fucking walk in the park.
No.
Nick is actually
No.
Nick is very close, if not better. The way
Let's
sh-
wait how
the
it
way
look on
Stefan-
stage. We
the
all
way
can do
Stefan is
that.
talking, the way
We
Stefan
can
is
all
talking
do
is
shadow
like,
pictures.
Nick is going to be fifth place.
No, I
Nick's
didn't
probably-
say
Nick's-
that.
Nick
I-
and
I
Derek are
don't
about
say
to go to
that.
fucking war for sure. It's,
don't
whatever
say
happens
that.
is going to be very, very close. The side shots are going to be really interesting because they're going to be.
Guys, I just don't
They're going to
see.
be super close.
Listen,
on
I'm
those.
sorry, man. I'm honestly not a fucking hater. I just don't see the detail or the size. He has some very, very good standout areas, like the lats sweep out really well. He's got a small waist, but like that's fucking it. Nick's arms are better. Nick's legs look better. Like it's like, what are we doing here? It's just a small waist, so he wins.
It was Mr. Olympia 2024. What was his worst show ever? He beat Samson at the Arnold, and he was
I'll give you
okay.
I'll give you the lat spread.
Yeah, I give it the double. And
I'll
for me, it
give
was
you the
no.
double. I'll give you the front
It-
double, but it's
It
not.
was.
It's not for
It's
sure.
3-0 for me right now.
Did any of you not prefer Nick's previous front double? I used to like when he was upright more.
I don't like when he stretches it out.
I didn't
Yeah.
mind it. I really didn't mind it for some reason.
I think it's better when he.
Mm.
Okay, if you
Now the side shots are going to be interesting.
the side
Nick-
shots are.
Nick's
Derek's
better than
side shot of
shot.
the Arnold was crazy.
I know everybody says that. They're like, well, look at the leg detail. Are we going to give him a shot based on leg detail? Like Nick's got him beat everywhere else.
Yeah, I could give that Nick. Okay.
I think Nick has the best side chest.
Thank God you're at least a little rational.
Yeah, but now we have 3-1 for me.
Okay, what do we got here? I'm sorry. I still like Nick's back double bicep better.
I say because you're drawn to the crazy hams,
It
aren't you?
just looks better. It just, to me, it just looks more complete. It's a more complete back double bicep.
Hmm.
All I see here is a thick back, but everything else is not
Good
that.
shoulders, good glutes.
No,
What about this? What about this?
shoulders are
What about this? Where would Derek's
His shoulders are better than Nick's shoulders in that picture.
where
More
would Derek,
detailed and bigger and fuller.
Derek. Okay, now you're crazy.
let me
Derek,
say
No,
something.
in that
better
shot,
than
in that shot, in that shot, in that shot. Compare that shot.
okay, maybe in just this shot you have.
Yeah, we just were talking about that shot.
Fouad,
Because you said he just has back.
if you took away Derek's
Yeah.
crazy lats, where would his physique stand?
Oh, I mean,
Where would
look,
it stand? Where would it stand? Be real,
And if you
because the rest of his body's not going to carry him to winning.
are you trying to
Yeah,
get me?
but-
Are you trying to get me in
but-
trouble?
No, I'm being honest. His
I
lats are
think-
so overwhelming that I think that they sometimes cloud us a little bit.
I think the term "shows are one from the back"
Well,
is very accurate when you're talking about Derek.
Mm.
He's got a great front double bicep. He's got
because of his back.
well, yeah, because of his back. He's got amazing.
what I'm saying.
He's got amazing structure. He's got wide shoulders and narrow waist. He poses really well. His conditioning is fucking wild when he's in shape.
So if you chop them lats off a little
I
bit,
think he's got. I think if you made Derek's back like average,
it'd hurt him a lot.
he would still be a top 10 Olympian,
Yeah.
yeah.
right? I don't know if he would be top 3, but he would still be like top 8.
I would say his lats are so overdeveloped that they've created this thing where it's so awe-inspiring that it puts him so up there.
Yeah, but then it also, when I'm looking at the shot, I'm like, I kind of like the balance of this physique better.
Well, that's fair enough.
In the
In my-
back double,
in-
yes.
In my taste, the back is too flat for the arms, the hamstrings, and the arms. I already said.
I
And
can
the
see
same
that
is,
as well.
and the same is for that shot. You know, he doesn't have the density in his back that he has in the rest of his body.
Needs the mid trap.
It's the same story, just opposite.
I'll give you guys a lat spread. The lat spread is Derek. Well, it's
It's
tough.
the same
man.
story, just
No,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not.
if you're going off of your argument, Fouad, you give
It's not
Nick
the same story because, Stefan, the problem is if I look from the waist up,
Yeah.
I give the shot to Derek. If I look from the waist down, I give the shot to Nick.
From the glutes up.
No. If you showed
Yeah.
me, if you showed me
even Nick's
if you showed me these two bodybuilders and
Yeah.
you showed me just the top half,
Mhm.
I would pick Derek. If you showed me just the bottom half, I would pick Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. In that, when you say it like that, it's okay. But
Yeah.
still, more of the body of
Yeah, he's
Derek is-
glutes over Nick. Yes.
is in advance.
I like Nick's side.
That's
choice.
Nick. Yeah, Nick. So he has the two side poses. What I said before that video came.
And the ab and thigh.
Yeah, Derek can't do that.
Derek's
can
got
he?
a bad ab and thigh. And he's got the most muscular. So he's got 4 poses. So it's 4-4. So you're not so not
No,
running
he has
away.
to fight.
And the problem is, if you say it's 4-4, right? The shots that Derek is beating Nick with are very, very close in some instances. Not necessarily the front lat spread or the front double, I think, is a lot closer than you guys do. But the shots that Nick is beating Derek in are a wider margin.
The side shots at the Arnolds were hugely better than the side shots here.
Yeah.
How
definitely.
he did the side chest was much improved. Also, the side triceps, he did his ab and thighs much better than at the Olympia. So they are also not that big difference.
Let's see what the chat's saying. What are the chat? The chat says Nick wins. Nick again. I'm glad Stefan is not a judge. These guys all
Yeah,
like.
let's go off the comments on the
No,
social
I
media.
just that we're doing a live chat for a reason. We want to see what the people are saying. That's the whole point of doing a live.
I'm just saying it's ironic. We spent the first half of the fucking
I
show
know.
talking about.
But it's funny, Ben. I actually thought when I opened this up, I thought everybody was going to agree that Derek, because I listen, Derek is the favorite to win the show. There's no doubt.
I'll say this. I think Nick is about to remind everybody, myself included, the quality of bodybuilder that he is.
No, he's a absolute great bodybuilder.
Yeah, I think
I don't
as a
take
community,
that away.
no, but I think as
don't
a
take that
community,
away.
I think as a community, I'm just gonna lump us all in there. I think we dismissed Derek or took something away from him based on the last year and a half.
The Olympia.
Yeah. Dismiss
Yeah.
Nick. Yeah. Stefan,
And I think
can I tell you what I think Ben is talking about? I think a lot of people last year, they saw him come into New York, not so great. I think he missed the Olympia the year before. I think people are like, well, this guy's fucking, he's got it. And especially because of last year's New York showing, they're like, his waist is too thick. He's never going to get it back in check. I think Ben is 100% right. People forgot
for sure.
how fucking dangerous Nick can be when he's 100%.
Absolutely.
He should come out and pose to that Roy Jones Jr. song.
But nobody of us four thought like that. I think.
I don't know.
I can speak for everyone.
You can't speak for me. I said specifically on this show on it might have been on this one like a month ago. I was like, "There's no way Nick can beat."
Yeah, I think I wrote Nick off like the 8 week.
And then I started.
I said, nah.
Yeah, and then I started seeing these updates, and I'm like, "Oh fuck! It looks like the old Nick."
Mm.
And the old Nick is actually very, very good.
He's a top 3 Olympian and
like this is
dangerous as fuck.
This side chest is better than the side chest we just looked at. So
yes.
he's fucking hamstring.
Yeah,
if they do nothing from that position, that's the best his side chest has ever looked.
His back looks thicker here than it looked in that YouTube video also. So it's like, you know, and I also think, Stefan, I want to say something about this back shot. How you said it looks flat. I know it's not as thick as Derek, so I'm not arguing that it is, but I also think Nick stands straight upright when he does this back double.
Yeah, he does.
Whereas Derek kind of leans back, so you get
but still in the back lat, you see the thickness.
I agree.
Look at his arms. Look at those fucking biceps and triceps. Holy shit.
That's insane. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know. I'm excited. Honestly, I'm excited to see the old Nick come back. Like,
yeah, as a bodybuilding fan, fucking right. Like, it's a
all right.
freak.
But then we have a we're gonna throw a wrench into it because we have Mr. Fitzwater, who is probably up like 10 pounds, or at least looked like he was gonna be the last time I saw him. So Stefan, what do you have to tell me about Martin? Because Martin's the fucking wild card that could fucking upset both these guys.
We don't put out any good content. The content which was put out was just garbage. And in reality, it will be fun.
What does that mean?
It will be fun.
Is Martin gonna win?
Martin looks incredible.
I saw.
We have to. It's bodybuilding. It's decided on stage by judges. You know.
Oh no!
In my opinion,
did Martin make AJ take down his photo? I saw a photo that AJ put up of Martin doing a quarter turn. And now it's gone. Fuck.
The one in the mirror in the garage.
Yeah.
No, because Martin and Brett both posted that.
I also had it in the story. I had it also in the story.
It was
that was the only thing he put out of quality stuff. We are the champions of worst pictures.
Oh, it's gone now. So fuck, I can't see it. Well, where does Martin stand? Tell me.
Okay, like we always do, it's not for public, but I send it now to you, and you take a look, and then you tell me.
I get the insight.
We just do it like that, you know.
Well, okay. While you're doing that, James.
Yeah.
Is it a 2-man show or a 3-man show?
3-man, I think.
So?
I did make a prediction earlier, and I do believe I have got Nick in second. have got because of detail,
Oh my God. What am I looking
but I
at?
could be proven wrong.
Guys, this is.
So
Can I
then I
just-
thought, yeah,
Can I show the legs? Can I show the legs?
No, just your smile was enough. For
Oh
me,
my
he's the
God.
most balanced of them by far.
blown away. So it's obviously
Take a look. Fouad, take a look at the mirror. What happens when he hits the back poses? The skin texture. Take a look at that.
That's a level up for conditioning for Martin, man. Holy fuck.
Some rice
I
cakes,
don't.
bro.
If he has
It will
these,
be
if
fun.
he has these like 21,
What I say, it will be fun. You know, I don't say anyone is better.
Martin's-
They are all great bodybuilders. It will be fun.
I gotta tell
Martin's
you,
21 conditioned.
I gotta tell you this. Oh my God, the conditioning is fucking wild. Like his quads are feathered just standing there. Okay, I will say this. The prettiest physique of the three is Martin's. If he loses, it will only be because of size.
Yes. And it's 10 pounds up the last time. That's now 244 pounds. At the Olympia, he had 232.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it's in his fucking legs.
No, everywhere.
His legs look crazy, dude. His
Yeah,
legs,
the legs are insane.
His chest looks like it came up to me the last time.
no, everything's come up, but his
The
legs.
chest is
Yeah.
the cool thing. He has a better posture. That was where we was working most because he had, you know, that.
So, yeah, he's posing. He's posing in all of his side shots was limiting.
Wait.
his physique. His quarter turns too.
Non-IFBB Pro says, I don't know, Fouad, is this a bias? What the hell? Or is it that good? This is not a bias. This is the best Martin I've ever seen. I'm telling you guys, out of respect for Stefan and Martin, I won't show this, but like,
Not right now.
this is,
Later.
yeah, I'll save it. I'll show you guys after the show so you can see what I was looking at. This is, I'm going to tell you guys the truth from what I just saw. That's the best Martin I've ever seen, condition-wise and size-wise. His balance.
We need to bring it on stage. It's
you need to bring this.
10, it's 10 weeks, 10 days out.
The only reason he will lose, if he loses, the only reason will be if the other two guys outsize him in the upper body. I'm looking across the shoulders and the back. They're the only two areas where I'm like, Nick's got a really crazy cap to his shoulders.
When he just stands, Nick's
when
incredible. That's just insane.
And Derek's clavicles are crazy wide.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the one area I'm like, it could be tricky. But as far as being the most balanced out of the three guys, and this conditioning this is for sure the best Martin I've ever seen. This is fucking crazy.
Brett is so cool when he sits back there. The fat dad look.
Brett's just sitting in the back of the, eating a fucking meal. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could show you, but I can't. I gotta respect them. James, why are you sitting in the dark?
I don't know why it's dark in here.
It's getting dark. We are in Europe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I know. Maybe it's because I'm further away from. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's.
You know what is this?
But what's really crazy, you know, I think the most conditioned guy for sure will be Creaso. Have you seen that side chest shot where
Crazy.
here in that area
Yeah,
everything was peeled? It was a hole in that.
We looked at it a couple days ago, right here. This one.
Yeah, the down here is just what the fuck is going on?
I mean, well, yeah,
He's a freak.
Yeah,
Considering he had
you also
considering he had
about
shoulder surgery.
size. You also about size as well. Like this guy's gonna dwarf all of them.
But he will dwarf, but his problem really is the way his bone structure is built with that long midsection and the short legs and the
Tiny
not
glutes.
optimal.
Yeah.
He's got a small bum.
I got a question for you.
With a bigger
Stefan.
ass
What do you
than
think?
me.
What do you think of this guy? He's like my new favorite bodybuilder.
He's crazy.
Oh, the guy, he got
Yeah,
sessions
he's-
of Vito, right?
Yeah.
He's crazy, but that are the chocolate shots.
No, hold on a minute. I've
I've seen the live stream of the show.
Yeah. What I'm
That
saying
are
is,
the chocolate shots,
what is a chocolate shot? What does that mean?
the good ones.
Yeah, that's what I
All
thought.
overall.
Yeah, but he's got no weaknesses. What do you mean? He's just soft. Like if he was harder at this show, he would have beat Vito.
Nah.
Really?
Oh my, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? I thought you knew bodybuilding.
He would nah.
The only place Vito beats Leandro is in the quads and hamstrings. That's it.
Show the back shots.
Okay.
Wait, is Vito doing Pittsburgh or no?
Stefan,
Yes, I think so.
I absolutely love it when you're on the show. You know that? Shoulders, arms, he's got a thick back. Like he's got everything, man. He's a great bodybuilder.
How old
I
is
want
he?
the back shot without that panties. The stage, don't you have the stage pictures?
Go tagged. See what he's tagged.
There's a back shot.
Vito for sure has on his page, I think.
Okay, let me see.
He's for sure a great bodybuilder.
No.
Does he have any comparisons? I think
They'll
so.
be in
I
there
thought
tagged,
so.
I think, if anything.
Ah, yeah, I always forget that section also.
If you're back a while, though.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and search for this
Yeah.
shit. Listen, all I know is Leandro is 100, like he's not missing any body parts. And I honestly believe the only reason he didn't win the Arnold Brazil is because his condition was off.
Well, it's a big factor still, though.
Huh?
That's still a pretty big factor. Is he getting ready? He's doing Pittsburgh too or no?
Yeah,
I think so. Yes. Yeah, he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing it. That's why I'm bringing it up.
No, Pittsburgh is
I'm
Yeah,
I'm talking about-
here.
So
It
both
was
Vito.
here.
Wait,
Down,
where?
down. You just overscrolled it. Down. Here.
There.
Look at. Oh, he's over here. I thought that was Vito.
No, that would be insane.
So I think he's got
Vito's quads, man.
better arms, same chest, back from the
The
front.
front double is super cool. Yes.
Yeah, his front double's great. Front lat spread goes to Leandro because good Vito doesn't know how to hit it.
Yeah, but he also not.
Yeah, but it's better, no?
Yeah, the best shot, not
I think-
he looks not best, but the best
I think-
shot would be the guy in the middle
I think the
Back
timing was
double.
off for them boys.
from the posing.
No, good Vito kills him here. Well, he's not in position,
him.
but
You're only saying that because of conditioning. Imagine he
no,
had-
no,
I
I'm not.
see-
No, I'm
Foot-
not.
foot-
Look at the
foot-
whole X frame. Look at the
Fouad, I have to
back.
apologize. He's so far off that when I imagine that he would be in, it really would quite good. I
that
say
back
when
double-
I was wrong. I always agree when I was wrong.
No, he's not good from the back compared to Vito. Vito's killing him from the back.
I don't agree at all.
But he
No,
could really be quite good when he would be conditioned.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Vito beat him at this show for sure. But I don't know, man. If he was peeled,
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah. With still a very nice symmetry.
all right. Let me add you guys in here. Ben,
I don't want to play. I
you're
always
playing.
get in
You're
trouble.
playing.
I always get in motherfucking trouble.
Okay, here we go. James, you want to go first?
Yeah, I did a prediction today. Obviously I haven't seen mine, so I've actually got Derek, Nick,
Derek, Nick,
then I got Martin,
Martin,
then I got Bonac,
Bonac,
then I got Crizzo,
Rizzo.
and then I don't know who else because I know that Ron's in it. I don't know many of the other athletes
These
that are
guys,
doing it.
you look, these
Yeah,
guys.
you forgot Vito.
Oh, Vito. Oh,
Vito, most probably
Leandro,
okay, yeah, Vito. I would have Vito in six for sure.
Vito.
Then Marcelo Cruz is that incredible shredded Brazilian who is shredded to bone, not round but shredded as fuck. Always.
Yeah,
You want to take a look, James?
yeah, I'd like to see him.
This is Cruz.
He's the super shredded.
Oh yeah, he worked with Cruz Body. I follow him.
Patrick.
He's lagging
Patrick.
some areas, man. Like conditioning is not enough, in my opinion. To
No, it isn't. He's
So
just
But it's crazy.
the condition is crazy, but yeah.
Let's go back. And who else
There's
is there?
more.
So,
There's more guys than what you've got listed, right? For sure.
Oh, there isn't.
Eric.
Yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure
so.
he
I haven't
did
seen. I haven't
something
seen a
wrong with
final
his
list. Though.
programming.
This
Yeah,
is
because there is no final list before Monday.
Yeah, you were just gonna.
I
What?
don't know what Eric Wood looks like either. Or
Do you guys know somebody else that's doing it that I don't?
no.
Nope.
This is Eric Wood.
Oh, I think the German one, Justin Musiol.
Oh
is
yeah,
doing
Eric.
it.
I know Eric.
Luziel's in it. Yeah, you're right. I just heard something about that.
James, isn't Joe Ballinger doing it?
Oh yeah, Joe's doing it. Yeah. Just I
His
would
pro
put,
debut.
I'd probably put Justin in if we had him, but we haven't got him in
One
it.
second. I'm gonna adjust it.
Justin looked good in FIBO. Felt like he'd improved since the Detroit show.
Okay, I
Good
added it.
condition,
So
good size.
you want Justin here?
Yeah, he's got good condition and good size for a young, and he's obviously young. And then I'd probably let's go Eric Wood, just because his shape. I think Cruz has got some weak body parts that might hurt him.
What about Leandro?
Oh, Leandro there then, because he's not gonna. If he's not in shape, then Leandro would go 9, even though he's bigger than Eric. And then yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it.
Ben?
But I think Justin will look good.
Where's Ben? Where did Ben's thing go?
All right, you always forget about me. Don't worry.
Shut up. I thought I clicked you.
You did. I thought you did too, but you need to reprogram your system. And look, it only gives me 8.
I need to sit down and reprogram this whole thing. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I kind of want to do something outlandish based on your
Wait,
reaction. Put Martin in.
If I had seen that reaction earlier today and I hadn't done a prediction for my other thing, I wouldn't stick to the prediction I have now. But
Let's go. Let's just go not silly, but Martin. Do you want my actual legit what I think is going to happen, or do you want me to stick?
Yes.
All right, Derek, Nick, Martin, Krizo, Vito.
You're smoking crack.
Oh, sorry, Bonac, Vito. I forgot Bonac. In fact, no, Bonac, then Krizo.
Oh, he's going down my same path.
Then the other Brazilian cat.
Who is the coach of Leandro?
I don't know.
I actually don't know either.
Justin, Eric, Marcelo.
Justin, Eric,
Size is very similar, just 2.
Marcelo. Okay. Stefan?
Martin?
Yeah.
Derek?
Yeah.
Nick?
Okay.
Willie? And now I really don't know. Should I do Vito and Kriso after? I really don't. For me, those is a very interesting battle. A very, very interesting.
Same.
And I really don't know. And everybody has everybody Kriso before Vitaly?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I go with that.
What's that here? No, Guy has Vito over Rizzo.
Yeah, but the short man would.
No one's been like the outlandish one yet. Everyone's. It's only Ben actually.
Kriso, Vito.
I considered it.
Ben. Yeah.
Then let's believe on Leandro. Then I take Justin. I don't know Eric Wood.
I just showed him.
He's pretty.
He did New York, right?
Kind of like balanced. He's not like
He's just a little bit weaker in the hamstrings and the back, but from the front he looks great. He's a big guy.
I can remember.
Just the hamstrings need a little bit more to match the quads, you know.
He's around like 245, 250-ish. He's pretty big.
I can remember.
Decently well balanced.
I think he's got good balance, is why I put him.
Yeah, then I do it a little bit different. I do Cruz and then him.
Okay. Okay, your picks are in.
You for sure change yours, but like always. After prejudging. It magically changed. I don't know how.
You're such an asshole.
Do I meet you?
I gotta win. I gotta cheat. I gotta
No,
win.
do you come? Do I meet you?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
We're all
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I'll be there. We're
Good.
having Hostile's gonna have a booth there.
Ah, I have free drinks and food.
Yeah. You have free
Food.
drinks and food where? At the Hostile booth?
If
Yeah.
Martin wins, you'll probably get
Martin wins, you
free.
do,
Yeah.
Let's see. What did I miss here?
For sure, we forgot some competitors because there are more.
Yeah.
So many people said we are gonna do that.
There's a bunch. There's probably like 15, 20 open guys.
Yeah, really, really.
Really?
Yeah, you just don't have your finger on the pulse.
I'm gonna have to get
Oh, for example, Joe Bollinger is doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but he will for sure, like no offense, but he turned pro. He's not even in the system. He turned pro like 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah, I don't even have him in my like list of athletes, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like one of the most recent pros on the circuit.
His first name, Joe?
Joe,
Yeah,
Joe
Joe.
Bollinger.
British guy. He's tall. He's like six. He might be
Yeah,
about my height, six
add
6'1".
him. I gotta add him. He's not even in the roster.
Yeah, he works with Patrick too.
And a lot of people said they are gonna, so I really don't know.
The list comes out Monday, right? We'll see.
Yeah.
We can.
Monday, 6 p.m. your time, I think.
I'll wait till Monday, and then once the list comes, I'll
Five?
add him like that.
5. Well,
Um,
5 is the cut. Five's the cutoff time.
Ah, okay. Yeah, and I think about 6 or 7 they posted.
Words deep in thought.
Okay. Let's do some questions, and then we'll go. How's that?
Ah, yeah. We have holiday today.
What
Oh,
holiday?
whatever. May 1st.
It's called Day of Work.
Yeah, Labor Day or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
But not
okay.
like, yeah, not like Labor as in Labor.
When's May? When's May Day? Is it May Day?
I think that
Yes,
is
1st
today.
of May.
Oh, that is a
I think it's the same thing. I know.
Oh, Bartley Weaver's in the chat. He just said he's doing it. All right, I'm gonna add Bartley Weaver.
Bartley.
That's a fucking cool name.
Bartley.
Okay. Should the winner of Pittsburgh be considered the favorite to win the next Olympia? No.
Oh.
No, it's really great. Let's appreciate the situation we have right now in bodybuilding with so many good athletes at a high level, with every show being possible to go out different.
You've also got the top 2 out of the top 3 aren't even actually the top 2 of the Olympia aren't even in the show. So how could that possibly be your question?
Well, I think a lot of people are writing Samson off now because he.
You got
Yeah,
Samson and Hardy.
like
You're number one.
like they did Derek, or like
I
they
just
did
think
Nick.
Listen, I talked to a lot of the judges, and I don't want to rehash it. Samson had a misstep on Friday. Obviously, he wasn't at his best condition. My belief is that if he would have showed up on Friday the way he showed up on Saturday,
Yeah.
At the Arnold, you mean, right?
yeah, they would have given him the win. I think they were trying to, and this is just this is not like inside information. I think they were trying to prove a point. I think they're like, look, we saw you a certain way. You have to show up that way, or else.
Well, this
But
is
on
one.
the
this
other,
is one-
but then I have to argue on the other hand, we had Fibo and
Fibo.
Andrew winning. That
do you-
was
We- we-
100%. That was 100% sus. That was so close sus.
We
for
we
me.
were both there,
It was
weren't we?
so close.
Wait, so what are you trying to say?
But you can't. Why did he
Say what you
get?
mean.
Why did he get the?
Say what you mean. Sas got screwed. Yeah.
Why didn't
No.
Andrew get the same
Don't
slap
say
on the wrist?
screwed, but
I'll tell you. I'll tell you why, James. And I hope this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings, but
no.
Derek is a former Mr. Olympia, so that battle back and forth is very even. Andrew is a top 5 Olympian. Sass, I don't think will ever be a top 5 Olympian. So you're not going to just be like.
I don't think he will either. But
And
on
it's
the
not-
day,
and-
on the
and
day,
fun.
on the day, man. If
On
On
the
the
it's
day,
black
it
and white,
really
if
would
it's
have
black
been
and white,
cool
you
when
just
he would
fucking
have
give him the
won.
win, man.
It's also not a slap on the wrist. A wrist. Andrew, in my opinion, was behind at prejudging, but
If you were there.
the finals was good enough to win.
Well, we were sitting front row.
Andrew's
we
my
were
homie.
really,
Andrew's
we
my
were
homie.
really,
Andrew was
we
not
were really
Andrew.
sitting front row.
Yeah.
Andrew's my
row.
bro. Andrew's my bro, and I'm an honest person. For Andrew's sake, I think they should have given him the slap on the wrist because Andrew can be so much fucking better. If Andrew's on point, 100%. He's pushing for
It's
Mr. Olympia.
insane. It's
And
insane.
like his stature alone was so crazy at that show. If he was in shape, it would have blown everyone's mind. When you're at a show and when Andrew comes out and people don't go crazy and clap and applaud, there's a reason. And that's what happened to Febo. Febo, he didn't have the noise behind him that he would normally have if he came in how he can. And I care about the athletes looking their best. I hate him when we all balls up. But that was definitely like more of a last minute decision. I'm turning up. And he didn't expect someone as good as Sass to be there.
And Sass looked insane. Insane.
I'll go blue in the face. That was Sass's show that day.
Insane.
I was there. I was in the first row. So was Stefan.
I believe
Sitting
you.
there. I just think on the day you just got to be fair. And I don't think it was a fair judgment.
There's sometimes inconsistencies in judging. I mean, their judges are fucking people too, right? There's not any,
But dude, this was
sure. Easy.
like when you're sitting at this angle as well, when you look from like you can look from that kind of diagonal angle as well, and you can see the kind of thickness of the core, and when someone's in shape, their core's a lot smaller and a lot higher. It just wasn't what homie Andrew could be. And I know he's gonna come back and he's gonna look fucking blinding now and shut everybody up because he's probably got a lot of people saying it to him. Because even he, when he got off stage, was like, I don't think he felt too good about the way he represented. I don't think he did. He maybe did, and I'm not trying to shit because I don't want to be one of these people, like I said earlier, that make you feel down. Because I think Andrew can win the Olympia if he's actually nails. It was just a shame not seeing Andrew. I'm a Febo. I'm like, look, Andrew's going to be here, and then I look at Andrew and I'm like, he didn't bring it.
Yeah. Well, he lost prejudging, like by the points.
Yeah, but the thing with that, it was so, and it was just, mate, he was better in the evening, but he weren't.
But Sass was also better. He really was great.
And the pictures aren't like real life, man. I swear.
Andrew photographs really well, even when he's off.
But
If you have muscle,
I'm not making an excuse for it. I'm saying you're
No,
right.
no,
Maybe they
what
should have.
I'll say is this: if you have muscle insertions that are very good and they sit in the right position, you photograph really well because the muscle definition is still there because you have excellent muscle insertions. That doesn't mean you're lean.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. And you know, everyone's like, "Oh, but Sass is too small." No, the reason Sass is like 245, but he's 245 because he's in shape.
Yeah,
he could have been 255, which is
right.
I think now.
Right.
I think in the next show he's actually going to come in heavier, from my understanding, because he's like, okay, if they want to play that game, I'll come in a little bit heavier. I don't know.
I don't think it's a good idea.
He's lost. Well, I can see the rationale because he lost to Bonac and he was sharper than William, right?
He's still been the sharpest.
I don't say he should have beat William.
He might have 5 pounds.
Sass doesn't have the kind of physique that if it's not 100%, it will still look good.
Well, we'll see what happens.
The reason he's so impressive is because he's 100%.
He's sharp all the time.
I think
it's just a shame, man. It was just a shame for me being there, and there wasn't. Honestly, I like Andrew and Sass pretty much evenly. They're both my friends, and I just don't like when someone's clearly and the audience is behind the guy, and the audience is like, "Yes, Sass is on. Sass is going to win," and it doesn't happen. I was just like, "Whoa!" For me. Again, not trying to slate anyone because judges do what they do. They judge, and they've got their reasons. Tyler and I have their reasons. I'm not in charge. I can't say. But for me, it felt like the one decision I've seen in bodybuilding person that felt pretty damn off.
Yeah.
You know the horrible thing about that, and this goes back to our very earlier conversation because Sass has been pretty vocal, like, "Oh, this might be his last season." That might well have been his last ever show if he didn't have
he said
the
it's
mental.
his last season?
I think
Sass is already
he's
39.
considering it. Yeah, he's considering it. But imagine if he loses to Andrew like that and he decides, you know what, fuck this. Because if I turn up 100%, like, and he has those voices in his head and he shuts it down and calls it a career, that's a shame. From
my only problem is
inconsistent judging.
And Ben, my only problem is this: what it symbolizes is that for me, it seems that if you have the best structure in a show, and someone else has come in and done everything they can, you've basically said you can never win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And I don't like that in bodybuilding. I don't think that's fair because you're always going to have a structurally superior person. Always. Because some people genetically have better structure.
You can't.
Yeah, but you've got structure's genetic, condition, and
what I just wanted to
isn't.
say is, in that, if it would have been like that, Samson should have won the Arnolds.
Yes.
Yes.
And if that's the point, yes.
Yes.
Listen, you
guys,
said
you
it
guys
yourself.
you guys are acting like fucking guys. Hold on a minute. You guys are acting like regular, like fair weather fans. That's not how it works.
No,
Now, hold on a minute. Derek and Samson are not structurally as far apart as Andrew and Sass. I'm sorry, that's not even a close comparison.
No,
Derek and Samson are actually very close competitively. Sass and
they are.
Andrew has to be 80% for Sass to even be in the discussion. This
And
is
he
not
He was.
an equal.
And that
this is not an
was-
equal like.
But
Well,
he
why did it?
was.
Oh, hold on a minute. This is not an equal like. Why did it happen over here and not over here? Because these two guys are on the exact same level competitively, and these two guys are not.
But
But
the problem
especially after the pre-judging, we had the discussion after the pre-judging when we went there, and I had my cider and you had your chicken, and I said back then after the pre-judging, yeah, I see the impression of Derek is so good, I think he can win, and you showed me a picture of the legs, and you said, how can that leg of Samson not win?
For what? For the Arnold?
Yeah, Arnold. It was even after pre-judging.
Yeah,
You know, because you saw the structural
You're right.
benefit of Samson that ahead of the structural benefits of Derek.
You're right.
So there is a difference.
all I'm going to say,
No. Wait a minute. I didn't say there wasn't a difference at all. I'm not saying Samson's not better than Derek structurally. For sure he is. The only reason Derek beat Samson is because of conditioning. But I'm saying the gap, it's not black and white. It's
You
not,
mean the
okay.
potential?
All right, so
it's not this.
You mean the
structure better.
potential? You mean the potential that
I'm
I'm with you.
all right.
I'm
so
saying if
I'll-
you
but
score,
I'll-
hold on a minute. I'm saying if you score physiques on a 10-point system, Samson and Derek structurally are a 10-9.
Yeah.
okay, but listen.
Samson and Derek muscularity wise are a 10-9, maybe 10-8. Samson and Derek conditioning wise are Derek probably 10, Samson 9 or 8. So they're very, very close competitively.
Okay.
Sass and Andrew are not 10-9 competitors.
No, but the condition, you say 10-9 or 10-8. The condition between Sass and Andrew was like a 10-5.
That's the only place though. Derek and Andrew is structurally a 10-7.
Listen, okay,
Andrew
put Sam-
muscularity wise is a 10-7.
okay,
So
so,
you're
you,
saying-
so by
basically,
your argument,
just because this
Samson.
guy, so basically you're saying just because this guy's more conditioned, he should win. That's not.
So okay,
that's-
No,
if
no.
If Samson walks on stage at 10 weeks out compared to the rest of the top 10 Olympia, you say that he should still win.
Listen, Andrew lost prejudging because he looked like he was 80%. Andrew came back at finals looking like he was 85 or 90%. In which case, because the gap is so much bigger between him and Sass, he was able to pull ahead.
I don't think he's final.
So you guys aren't wrong. You guys aren't wrong. They judged it properly in the morning. He was so far off that Sass won prejudging. But he came back enough that they were like, look, this guy's fucking got way more muscle. He's structurally unbeatable. Are we
The
going
thing
to?
is though, the thing
But then
is,
you say they slapped Samson on the wrist.
Because the two guys are so equal.
Too
You
close.
understand? The
My-
two
my-
guys
my-
are so close.
my thing is this. My personal thing is this. Andrew's like 4 inches, 5 inches taller than, maybe I say 6 inches taller than Sass. If they were the same height, he hasn't got that much more muscle than Sass.
James, you basically just said if Sean Clarita was Ronnie Coleman's height, then Sean Clarita would be.
Yeah, but Sean beats bigger guys because of that. He beat
Well, but you're
Sergio
saying-
because of that.
But structure matters. Like
It
you
does
sit-
with but the difference. One's not like
listen, I didn't know this, James. I didn't know this until about earlier this year when I had Steve Weinberger on the show. They actually judge height.
how though.
He literally said to me on the show that Sean Clarita could never win against the open guys because he's too short, because the structure of your physique matters. The height of your
But
physique
then
matters.
the problem with that, then that just disregards so many bodybuilders.
But that's life. Too fucking bad. I can't play in the NBA because I'm fucking 5'8". Like,
Yeah,
You're shit at
I would love
basketball
to
as
see you.
I'm
Gosh,
not
you're
sure.
shitty at basketball. It's kind of a limiting factor too.
I'm just saying, you can't say like,
It's just the size, you know,
you
with
can't-
him not being an NBA pro.
Yeah,
It's
he'd be
just
Michael
the
fucking
size.
Jordan if he was 6'6".
you can't.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is like, you can't just say like, oh, well, that's not fair. Of course not fair. That's fucking life. Andrew's
Yeah,
a-
but
Andrew's a
then
fucking-
that tells me that feels like there's a lack of ability to compare
but there is.
because you're not
That's the whole
you're not
point.
visualizing the physiques all on the like you have to.
James, that's the whole point of the fucking
I get
sport.
it, yeah.
Certain
Yeah.
guys are genetically way better.
Yeah, but that's where it doesn't sit well with me.
Well, that's just not.
Unfortunately, it
But
doesn't
you-
sit well with me because you're
you
always going to
also-
give the guy that's just genetically superior the nod, even if he's fucking lazy, and I can't fucking stand that.
But James, I don't know if that's fair because
That's not. No, that is fair.
no,
that is
hold
really-
hold on. You were sitting there, and I'm fine, and I'm taking your word for it because you were sitting there.
Yeah.
But the judges put him in second place at prejudging because he was so far behind.
Yeah,
But
and then some, and then
he obviously made up some ground at night.
mate, all I'm gonna say,
according to both these guys
honestly, I got
who were
eyes,
there,
and I'm
Sass,
fucking not blind.
Sass came back better at finals too, according to Stefan and James. So how do you?
It's just, I don't know.
And
There's a,
Samson got better at the finals at the Arnolds.
But not enough.
dude, if that was an amateur show, if that was an amateur show,
Stefan, why do you keep doing that?
haven't
You
you?
can't
Wait,
compare
you
the
just
two
said
shows.
no. You
What
just
does
said,
this
but not
fucking-
enough.
He's doing it on purpose now. He's trolling my fucking ass. The fucking
You
Samson
just-
and Derek competition is a head-to-head.
I got it.
that's
the
the thing even more so. This wasn't even a fucking head-to-head because of how open the door was because of Andrew's decisions to compete in that condition.
When I say head-to-head, I mean,
Yeah, but I'm saying what's on the day.
when I say head-to-head, I'm saying Andrew is far superior to Sass in 2 of the 3 criteria. Muscularity and structure, symmetry are all far better. They're not even in the same world.
I just can't fathom the whole.
But
if you
I
come
say
in looking-
last thing I say to trigger you a little. But the condition was as if you are a skiing driver and you miss the goal. You are fast. You're fast in the finish, but you didn't drive the course as you should have.
So he just drove straight through it instead of
there's a minimal standard of condition that I think is critical, and I think if you don't meet that, you're not even in the running. I think if you can't meet the minimum condition, you shouldn't even be in the running. I don't care how fucking good your structure
James,
is.
let me ask you something. This happened after the year Samson won the Olympia. Last year when Samson won the Olympia. I feel like it's so long ago. Last year when Samson won the Olympia, a whole bunch of people were online saying, Mr. Olympia has to be more conditioned than this. This is no good. This is bullshit. Bodybuilding is more than just conditioning.
Yeah, but also Samson had boxed glutes and hamstring lines. He was still in shape. He just wasn't as hard as other people.
In shape. I'm not saying
yes. So that's what I'm saying. There's a minimum standard. Set a standard for fuck's sake.
But those people were saying the same thing about Mr. Olympia. They were saying,
but they're talking shit because we saw the detail on Samson. He had enough to be called conditioned. Yeah,
but that's what the judges are probably saying about Andrew at night. Well, he came back enough.
Well, the problem with the judges at night then is they were wearing fucking sunglasses at night. Because you know what, that wasn't condition. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, look. All I'm going to say is this: I wasn't at the show. I trust you 100%. But
I lost my voice at the show shouting for Sassan, and they let me down. The judges, they let me down.
My whole point is those 2 shows, like those 2 matchups, are not comparable.
Dude, I think you'd agree with me, Stefan. On that day, the way that shit should have rolled out, I'm sorry, it should have been a wake-up call for fucking Andrew to come in proper shape. They should have gone.
Thought actually it would go out like that. I really thought it would go
out.
Out.
Qualification. Yeah, you're never going to be top 5 Olympia, but you fucking turned up today, and he didn't turn up, and he can be Mr. Olympia. So let's fucking tell him that. Let's make him realize how important it is to come in how you should and put on a fucking show. Because I say it, Andrew could win the fucking Olympia, but you can't become rolling in like a guest spot, man. You just
and
can't.
how are you gonna get him?
Sorry.
So how are you gonna get him to fuck up his idea? How are you going to get him to go away and be like, okay, I've got now condition? If he
don't make it easy for him, man. He knows he's gifted.
He knows he's no. That's so ridiculous to think that he would think that. Come on, because he knows when he goes to the Olympia, he's not competing against Sassan. And no disrespect to Sassan. Sassan is a fucking amazing bodybuilder, but he's not Hottie, he's not Derek, and he's not Samson.
No, but that ticket for the Olympia is a life-changing experience. And on the fucking day,
I know that, James. But what I'm trying to say to you is the point that Ben made about he's not going to learn anything. He's already learned the last 3 years.
Dude,
he's done nothing about it.
Fouad, if you came in,
he can't.
If you came in perfect at a show and Justin Compton was there and he's soft as butter, I'm giving you the fucking nod all day. Sorry, Justin. I don't care if you've got genetically the best fucking physique. There's a certain standard, and the standard needs to be met because that's bodybuilding. Dieting is bodybuilding as well.
I'm not going to argue.
And they but you know what? They give it the whole. Oh, but it's bodybuilding. It's also how big you are. Yes, how big your muscles are, not how much fat you're fucking carrying. Come on, guys.
I feel really adamant.
Come on, because I just like fair bodybuilding. I've been beat by smaller guys before. Fair play, because they fucking did their homework.
Yeah.
Because I came in too fucking lazy and I didn't bring the condition because I didn't do enough work. And I don't like that. That's just me. Yeah. Dorian Yates had guys like Paul Dillette next to him that were bigger structurally, but he was fucking razor and he won.
Yeah, but that's not the same comparison.
No, it's still the same thing. It's still the same judgment. It's
Not
still
the
that this
same
guy's in
thing.
shape, that guy fucking ain't.
No, it's not that black and white. When you
It
just
kind
said,
of is.
listen, what you just said ruins your whole argument.
No.
Dorian Yates and Paul Dillette. Dorian's got more muscle, right?
No, not necessarily. Not
only place
in
Paul
areas. In areas.
The only place Paul Dillette has Dorian beat is structure, not
Paul,
condition.
Paul has
not
more
muscularity.
muscle on every limb than Dorian. Every limb.
Yeah, but Dorian had more muscle on his back and his
Just on his
fucking-
back. Just on his back.
But I'm saying like they trade
Using
areas,
condition.
They trade
It's
areas.
just, it's the condition. I don't think there's enough emphasis. I know everyone's like, it shouldn't be a glute. It doesn't have to be a glute show, but come on, man. Please respect condition. Please. Baruz. Baruz is a fantastic
I need to shoot a little bit. If the Dorian and Paul Delay conversation would be today, you know, it's the same argumentation with Derek and Nick from before. Derek would have to win because Paul Delay had it on the limbs, Derek on the back, and you said, "Oh,
yeah." I'm just passionate. I love
comparisons.
And I like to put up an argument.
You guys are making these comparisons as in a black and white sense. It's not black and white.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
Competitors matter, like their level of competition. Dorian and Paul Dillette were first place at the Olympia and like what was Paul Dillette's highest placing? Fourth? You're talking about two guys at the very fucking top.
But you're only as good as you show. You're only as good as you turn up. You should only be as good as you turn up.
You are only as good as you turn up. What I'm saying is Paul Dillette. What I'm saying is Andrew is a top 5 in the world bodybuilder.
Forget that.
Sure,
Forget
sure.
that.
No, hold on.
You're
You're not letting me finish a sentence. He's a top 5 bodybuilder in muscularity and structure. 2 of the 3 criteria, he's the 5th best bodybuilder in the fucking world. Sass is not in the top 10 in the world in any of those categories.
Yeah, but Andrew's only there when he's on point. And that's what I'm trying to say. If you're not on point, you don't deserve
muscularity and structure is still there.
No.
It just shouldn't matter about anything other
void.
than how they
It's
stand
void.
next to
It's
each
like
other.
gone off milk. It's a void.
Okay, let's just agree to disagree. I don't think there's a void. I think whoever you're standing next to, that's what matters. It's not like, oh, well, you know what? He's 8% body fat. That's the line. Fuck it. He's out.
Hang on. I agree with you. It should only matter who you're stood next to on the day, not, oh, he's a top 5 guy by this and by that.
Right. Yeah. Agreed.
Give a shit.
Okay, we're saying the same thing.
If that was his first show, Sash should have won.
Regardless. I got Andrew's number. I love Andrew. I think he's fucking. I've said he can win the Olympia. I only say this out of actually being quite pissed off with wanting to see him reach the potential that he has. Because if that guy comes in fucking nails to the bone, he's challenging Samson and Derek all day.
But do you hear what you're saying? You're making my point. You're saying, this is what you're saying. You're saying if he's in shape, he's the best bodybuilder in the fucking world.
Yeah, but he wasn't in shape.
Yeah, but that's telling you.
Let me ask you the same question. If Sass comes in, his absolute greatest, what place did he place?
No, it doesn't matter because that's not the point. The
It's
point
not
is on
even
that.
the same
No, the
fucking
point
realm
is
of
on that day.
competition.
The point is on that day, the door was open and it was so fucking open.
Yeah, and Andrew closed it at the night show.
No,
For me, it's like that. Andrew is Ronaldo, the football player, because you don't have a clue of skiing. But he's the best guy and he can do crazy things, but he just didn't hit the ball. He just didn't hit it on that day.
It's not like that, man. It's not black and white like that.
If Andrew wasn't Andrew Jacked on the day, and if no one knew anyone's names at that show, and everyone just rocked up on stage at that day, I think everyone would have probably picked Sass to win. Sorry.
I could probably agree with
100%.
that.
If there's no pre-existing expectation or understanding of who this person is or knowing, yes, everyone would have gone, Andrew's a fucking freak. Imagine if he nailed it.
Okay.
And that would have been it. And then they would have
that.
said, 4 weeks' time, come back, you'll blitz everybody. You'll smash Sassan and you'll smash everyone. So just go and do the Olympia now and win. That's what it would have been. And that's what I wish it was reset every time people compete. Just reset. Forget, reset. Go for what you see in front of you and fucking be fair. That's my opinion. So
I don't disagree with
I'm
that.
empty.
I love it though. I love the
That
passion.
was,
Okay, again.
that was the biggest rant we ever had.
You know, it's
It's 'cause
funny.
I just want to see everyone at their fucking best, man.
You know, it's funny. I never get this out of James. He's always so calm, and so like I love it when I get him riled up.
Well, because I want to see I want to see a freaky bodybuilder reach their potential, and I feel like if the judges don't tell him to bark his ideas up, you're allowing him then to come in somewhat under his own potential, and I don't want him to do that. I want him to be his potential. I want him to fucking kick ass because that's the one guy that when I've been backstage with him, when I look at him, I'm in awe every time. I'm always in awe. So it's upsetting for me not to see him at his best.
You also
The
got to
atmosphere
remember,
there was really crazy. It was my birthday, by the way, on that day. And I even wanted to go out after that. I just went to Five Guys, had a burger, and went to sleep.
Was that because you just felt a bit deflated from
Because it was just we all thought Sas gonna win, and suddenly it was bam, and James was sitting next to me, and we looked at each other and said, "Come on!"
I was shouting for the whole show, dude, and I was empty of energy.
You gotta remember as well, it sets a precedent, right, downwards into the amateur leagues and the standard that coaches and competitors are gonna try and strive for.
Guys,
And it's
guys,
like, what are you trying to
Come
do?
on, man.
No,
Look.
but it didn't look like that in person, bro.
Well,
I don't give a
can't argue
fuck.
with
It
you
did
'cause I
not look
wasn't
like
there.
that
Yeah,
in person. I swear.
and have you seen Fouad how fast he switched the back lat spread?
It's like
There was the back lat spread before, and he fast scrolled it. He fast scrolled it away, you know.
Again, I'm one of them guys. I always get criticized for footage of me. I always get criticized for footage of me or pictures of me. And then when I do a show,
he was
Ben,
waiting for the front pose.
Stefan
You
got
fucker, really? That's incredible.
some people fucking take to like pictures really fucking well. I don't care what it says. Some people don't. I know. I
I'm
don't.
sorry, but I sent that spread to, I can't remember which group it was, either between, I think it was Fouad and you and Paul. I sent that at prejudge, and I was like, that's fucking off season. That's a guest pose.
Listen,
And look, we started this whole conversation of not being negative and not being things. So I just want to go back to that.
argue.
I'm
I
not
can't
trying to
listen.
say someone's shit because he's not shit. I'm saying he's the best if he does what he
I
does.
understand, James. Listen, the one thing is I never like to argue with somebody who's actually at a show because I know how different things can look. So that's why I'm going to say that you guys are right.
There's two of us, all right? Fucking.
But going by the photos, I think he turned it around at night, so they rewarded him. That's all I don't know.
I sum it up now. I really get your point, Fouad, and sometimes we are too much bodybuilding fans and see it with our fan goggles.
Yeah.
The only thing I just want to say is he is supreme, Andrew, by far. But for me, the condition he had was too bad. It just was what you said before. Where's the border of when it is too bad?
It's too far. It's too far. Yeah.
And for me, it was just too far. But I get the point that in every other bone structure, muscularity, he's way ahead, and that we need to calculate it in. That's just nothing we want to see as bodybuilding fans.
I got you.
A little bit more,
I'm
less
saying, I totally
touch,
get both
but
sides.
a little bit more bodybuilding fan.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you guys. Okay. We're gonna wrap it there.
It's a good question. No,
We got
we
into that.
just did one because we fucked it completely
I
up
just,
on that.
do you know, it's just, yeah.
That even was no question, by the way.
Oh, I don't know how we even got to it.
How did we even get there? And Andrew's going to hate me now. I'm sorry, Andrew. Please don't hate me because I don't hate you. I think you're great.
No, but listen,
Stop it.
Hopefully
Take out your mouth.
hopefully he's got thick skin and he knows that it's not that. It's because I want to see the best.
He has got thick skin.
He did at that show. He did that show.
Oh no, don't say that. Oh.
Andrew, I'm fucking with you, man. He
With
can
one
still down. I'm
word.
shit compared to him.
That's where we're gonna end. We're gonna end it there.
I'm shit compared to Andrew, so I can't say shit. But you know,
All right, boys. We'll catch you
Shit.
next week or the week.